This is Jay. Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate it, and Happy Holidays to everyone. I wanted to do something a little quick and fun and easy for the holidays for everyone. I apologize if the sound quality isn't as good as it usually is. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. Okay. I don't have access to my good mic right now, but I wanted to do something a little quick and fun for the holidays. So, I wanted to this is gonna be my little type 5 on 3D GIF artist. So I figured I love ranked. I love it when people just like review just arbitrarily review a bunch of things. I think that's a very funny format for just goofs, and I have a perfect selection for it. If you've communicated with me on Telegram in the past, you might recognize these animated 3D pandas here that I use as avatars sometimes. These are the creations of a man who goes by the handle of 3D GIF artist. He's on Twitter, he's on Giphy, he has his own personal website here, and he's a really interesting creative. Like, if you have any familiarity with 90s internet, you know that these looping animated 3D GIFs are like a part of the DNA of that. And there's a couple different sources for them. Some of them were a commercial endeavor, some of them were commercial endeavors. These particular ones were by 3D GIF artist. He's a draftsman. He was a draftsman who worked in CAD, computer assisted design. So he started making these for fun in the 90s, and so he started just making these for fun in the 90s, and it's just a hobby of his, and he still does it. He's evolved over the years, and it is interesting to see like those 90s style 3D animated GIFs in modern day resolutions and quality, while still kind of having that sort of that handmade quality to them. I like that these don't look super polished. This isn't that one Grubhub commercial everyone hated. This is very obviously the work of like it's just so fascinating, and I'll admit, like it's probably not like, I really like these. Like, yeah, maybe you could argue that they're probably tacky or whatever, but I find these very charming and cute and fun. And wouldn't you know it, this guy happened to make a bunch of Christmas ones. Also, I have talked with him I've messaged him before because, the old internet is my brand, and he's a really fascinating guy. I mean, he lives in Kent right now. He's in his mid-70s, and he's still doing this. He's old enough that he worked as a milkman when he was younger. I actually bought a book that he mentioned. I haven't had a chance to read it yet because some of his stories about that working there are in it. So just really interesting guy. Again, he's also kind of like secretive about his private life in the way that I feel like people this generation tend to be about their on the internet. Like, this little animated GIF right here is the only picture of him that he has. I don't know his real name or anything, or he just prefers to be called 3D GIF artist, and I respect that. So, but as an artist, I really appreciate this guy's art, and I figured this is my little holiday present to you. I could go through here and okay. I could just go through his 3D GIFs here for Christmas and just, I guess, do a quick review of them. All right, so first off, this one here, Happy Holiday and a Wasi Xmas. I think this is a really good encapsulation of a lot of his little touches that I find very charming. Like, one of his things is that he will make a model, and then the text fields on it, he'll just put different text on them. It's an intentional design, so the idea is like, also, if you want to edit it yourself, you can go in there and put your own text on it. And so this one it looks like Perry the Platypus wearing swimming goggles, or I guess aviator goggles, because I think those are also one used in that. That's another thing, is that he recycles elements between GIFs, so you recognize elements like those goggles there. It's very fun. This one's fun. Like, I have to admit, like, I'm in North Florida, so the whole, like, wassail, however you pronounce that thing, it's not really a tradition here. I didn't even know about that word until, like, relatively recently, so this is fun. This is very colorful. I like all the balloons. Like, balloons aren't very Christmassy, but it looks it's just very good. I like this. This is fun. All right, and next up we have This one here, nuns pop up a lot in his stuff. I don't know if it's just because he has that one nun model and he likes to use it a lot. But again, also, it's Christmas. I could see that. And again, you can see again his text box with the gradient on it. Just that face as well. That sort of Kilroy was here face shows up in a bunch of his stuff as well. So this one, I don't really go for the religious stuff, but this is nice. This is cute. All right, here we go. Here's another one of those platypuses. I think this is like a recurring character of his. And you can see there the color as well. That's another thing. He just kind of just palette swaps of all his characters. They're very fun. This Santa, whenever he does like more detailed models like this, it is very fun because usually it is just like the one looping animation, so the people kind of have like a fun little robotic way of moving. They remind me of animatronics, like on like a dark ride at a theme park, or like I could see like this is like a Santa at some like Santa's village that would be moving around with like a recording. It's very good. Here we go. Another one of this. I like the birds on the. That's another fun thing too, is where he'll combine real photographs and like existing artwork with his very colorful stuff. So I didn't point out earlier, but you can see that the platypus's beak actually goes behind the text because the text is something that was put on afterwards. Again, like this is just very fun. Like this is an enthusiast working with the stuff that I believe he's actually told me the. I'll have to look up what tool he uses to make. Actually, let me check. I think you might mention it here. Yeah. I'll look it up later, but yeah. Go. We got some lighting effects on this one. Yes, we have the classic like a flame dot GIF. That is always an extra point for me. I just love me a good flat GIF of a fire flickering. Okay, yeah, this is and this is where we're getting to the good stuff. Because see, a lot of his stuff is pretty. This is what really gets me, is because a lot of his stuff is pretty kind of just like straightforward and grounded, and then every now and then you'll get something like this that is like super weird and psychedelic and fun. So we have this surreal this LSD mandala happening in the background with twin Santas sitting on a rotating cube, just with a bunch of different pictures of cats, including Grumpy Cat. Like, it's very funny. I wonder if he knows who a Grumpy Cat even is, or if he was just like looking at pictures of cats and was like, oh, and I was like, I can't do a Kent accent, but he was like, oh, that's a cat with a funny face. I like this. Very good. Yeah, yes, it's Christmas. I'm knackered. Yes, and just all the Britishisms, like the word knackered, those party poppers that we don't really use in America. Just great. I do like the bells. I actually have like one of those little. Because I'm very poor and I live in a small apartment, like I don't really decorate, but the discount store I shop at had all those like collapsible paper bells and trees for like 50 cents. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I could spend $1 to feel festive. Here is another reason why I like him. He seems to have a fondness for teddy bears and bears in general. So like there's a lot of really good bear gifs. This teddy bear pops up in a lot of stuff, and just just the riding a rocking chair as a vehicle while he's drinking. Also, the alcohol is very funny. British drinking culture is on full display in here. There is so much drinking in these gifs. But yeah, just with his little crown. Like, I want like a shmup or an endless runner starring this guy. He is very fun. Like, imagine like Choaniki, but instead of like weird Japanese homoeroticism, it's this Britishisms like this. It's so good. And again, kind of going with that British sense of humor, you have fucking Santa Claus pissing in a fire that he himself is about to fall into, while this little acorn man in sandals is just having a grand old time. He just likes to watch. And the flame dot GIF. You could see the candles from that GIF earlier are there on the hearth. This is again just. The tapestry that these GIFs weave. Yes, more. We have the British nerd robots here. in very festive colors. I'll admit, Doctor Who is one of my big blind spots as a nerd. Like, I've tried to watch a couple episodes, and like, I'm aware of just through nerd osmosis stuff like the Weeping Angels and like the funny scarf and all that. But like, that's about it. I know more about the fake Doctor Who from Community than I do the actual one. But again, you can see here just that sort of creative reuse of assets. You know, we have that paper bell from earlier is on the Daleks plunger thing. We have the balloons from earlier, that same going back dog. Also the party time. That's man, just I really hope like that 3D GIF artist. Like, that's something I should, when I messaged him, one of the things I suggested was him posting these to archive.org where they could be preserved. I even offered to like help him. And another thing would be great was if he like released his raw assets for this. I would love to just see, like, I bet like ship posters would have a field day with this. So, hey, you know, if you like this video, you know, give it a like, share it with people, maybe give me a subscribe. I figure maybe if this video does numbers, I could show it to him and be like, hey, people really like these. I mean, he knows people like these. I think he has something, according to his Twitter, something like billions of views combined thanks to being on Giphy. Yes. Okay, this is one of the really surreal ones. Okay, like first off, this is like, I think this is a sex joke because you could see the like naked person bouncing in there with Santa and they're holding a sign that says, I'm coming, surrounded by these rotating signs that say, have fun. And then on the front, are you coming to my Christmas party? Like, oh, this is just so I love this because like I am not a graphic design person, but I could never in a million years, if you asked me to make an animated GIF with these elements, I could never make something that looked like this. It's people are amazing. Here we go, another Christmas greetings, kind of reusing that Santa from earlier. Yes, the monkey. This monkey shows up in so much of his stuff. It's very, very good. Like if I can go back to his page here, one of his on his homepage, it's actually the monkey is there. It's because he's like an anti-NFT person too, which is you know, that's the thing about stuff made by older people. I mean, that's how it is with everyone, but especially old British people. I'm always worried about like, oh boy, I hope I'm not signal boosting someone that sucks, and like I have to admit, I'm not sure what this guy's like worldview is. His GIFs just seem to be kind of like whatever is just out there. Like there's some ones about Trump or whatever, but they don't seem to be like pro-Trump. It's like just like, oh well, that's a thing people want. Again, I could just be projecting here. But yeah, I love that little monkey. I love that cheeky little monkey here. And here we go. Speaking of, where was I? Okay, here we go. So yeah, happy holiday from my gang. So we have, there we go, the robot Santa, the monkey, and I love this garden gnome that is just very sternly flipping you off with one hand. Yes. Cancel Christmas, just bloody try it. And again, like cancel, like I don't know if this is like a sincere political statement or if he's just like, oh, that's a thing people talk about, I'll make a GIF. Yeah, Santa with these giant revolvers and these very elaborate muzzle flashes with like a hypno background. This is like Hypno Santa. Hypno Santa compels you to try and cancel Christmas against your will. Oh man, this is great. I'm just gonna let this play another second because really, this is the meaning of Christmas right here. Yes. Oh man, look at it. Just look at it. Oh man, it's like Louis Wayne's cat paintings. Like as it goes on, it gets more surreal and more complex. And you can see like there's the Santa, we got like a Frosty and a Rudolph. This looks like one of those like animated machine GIFs that you see on Wikipedia, where it's like this is what like a tokamak reactor looks like on the inside. And again, with this kind of like this sort of like stern, dry British humor, especially like for his generation. Just the oh, that's. It's like, you're not naughty, you're mentally disturbed. I'm very sorry. I have too many European friends for me to do shitty British accents as a joke now. I feel like that is like genuinely hateful. Oh man, just this fractal Santa snowflake. Oh man, with the hypno background. Like, I'm worried I'm gonna flip a next tab and it's gonna be like my face on there and I'm gonna be trapped in one of these things. There we go. Just have your cake and eat it too. Just a nice little swamp. Yes, and it looks like we have a transparent Santa fractal snowflake. So yeah, you could just use this on everything. I'm gonna put this in my videos or something. This is great. And look at, you can see that the outline on the transparency, how there's like it has like the little red lines because it wasn't optimized. That's so good. And just a simpler one, Merry Christmas. this this looks like a different Santa model, like maybe an older one or something. It's very obvious the way he's scanning around. He's like, he looks like he's gonna just fucking open fire on you, like the robot from Squid Games. Yeah, special delivery in one of those weird British cars. I love it. And like the and like the background loop is pretty good. Like if you look closely, you can see the part where the orange in the window kind of skips, but that's a good loop right there. Yes, more drunk Santa. Someone needs to do an intervention for Santa. Santa, you keep showing up drunk to your GIFs. That is unacceptable. Yeah, here we go. More his penguins on toilet. There's a lot of like toilet humor too. Like, I mean, we already had the peeing Santa, but here you go. It's when I think of Christmas, I think of it's the European extreme difficulty bathroom where it's just two toilets facing each other, and you and another bloke just have to look at each other while you do your business. Yeah. Okay, good. For a second, I was worried that this, yeah, okay, good. So this is saying if you haven't gotten your vaccine, you're naughty, and Santa is going to, plant his very spherical ass on your chimney and give you a present. And it's worth mentioning, if you haven't had the vaccine, I know there's no way, if for some reason, if this is what it takes for you to get it, if the guy laughing at the 3D GIFs is what will finally push you to the edge after almost 3 years of pandemic at this point, then why not? Here we go. You're on the naughty list. Another one of him, I really like the way that he's simulated, though, like his pants being down, but instead it looks kind of like the Michelin Man, like his leg. It's really funny. Oh, this is an interesting thing. Is he does this sometimes where when he talk about him using real photographic elements like this, where this is very obviously an actual human as Santa, but it's like stretched over a mesh, and they have glasses on that are entirely like its own separate asset. Just, There we go. We got. It looks like this probably isn't even his Photoshop. Like this looks like something that like would be circulated on Facebook or whatever. But yeah, it's just Trump is Santa, and it looks like he's supposed to be wearing a sign in the original image. So I don't know if this is like he took like an anti-Trump thing and was like, just like, oh, it's Trump in a Santa hat. I can make a GIF out of that. But very good. Oh yes. This is great. This classic, like this old school British Santa, Father Christmas illustration with the Merry Christmas rotating poker chip and this realistic cat just kind of grooving in his sack. He's like, "Oh, he's gonna throw me off the bridge! Don't let him take me!" Whoa, what a great little kitty! I miss having a cat. I got my squeakers. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is a this is the bisexual pride Santa cube. This is a fun one too. The cheeky self censorship pops up in a lot of his stuff as well, with this like real ass painting in the background. Here's another one, like the rotating truth one that makes me worried. Like, I'm not gonna dwell on that. It just like, yeah, Santa literally kicking a bucket that is rotating like it's a collectible in a rare game for the N64 while drinking and holding balloons. Man, I'm really lucky. Like, I'm glad that this is my thing because there's just so much of this to be amused by. Santa is immune to COVID-19. I won't spread it. Just the matter of fact Santa being like Santa is immune to COVID-19 is something that I would like see like written on a handmade sign or like on the back of someone's car, and I would be like, what does this even mean? Is this supposed to like this is like someone's weird like schizophrenia car text? This one, Santa is listening. He's not driving. He's just scooting on one leg. I like to imagine that these are all like enemies in like a vertical shooter or something, and they're all just heading down towards the player at the bottom. We got Santa and the DreamWorks logo. Again, his bender has taken him to outer space. Santa's drunkenness knows no bounds. Another pissing Santa. It's freezing at the North Pole, so he's pissing ice cubes. Okay, that is very juvenile, but it's making me smile. Yes, Christmas is coming. Do we finally get to see like a head-on view of the infinite neighborhood? Oh, have a peaceful Christmas. We have the acorns holding peas. I really like their big human feet. And the flip-flops. That's a very funny detail. They could have just been like Jolly Green Giant guys, but the fact that they had to wear flip-flops is a very funny detail. I'm enjoying this. Yeah. Yeah. We got another Santa. This is like a little cartoon Santa. What? No Xmas spirit. And you can see what I mean with the nun earlier. There's that Kilroy was here looking over the wall. Just the raw asset of the Christmas poker chip, as I'm calling it. Although, I guess it does look kind of like, again, maybe it's because it's Britain, but I'm like, oh yeah, this is like from a rare game. Like, you would have to collect this in Donkey Kong 64. More of the Santa duality. I'm sure there's like a deep thematic significance to that. Your present is on its way. Ooh, finally, yeah, we have some new ones here. We have these elves. These look kind of like Elf on the Shelf elves, Just as an aside, Elf on the Shelf, like, it's weird, like, Elf on the Shelf was new when I was in high school. Like, that's when they first started doing it, I think. And it's weird because it was a thing that was invented in the 2000s, but it's intentionally styled to look like it's from the 50s and 60s. And the marketing line on it was always a Christmas, like its slogan is a Christmas tradition. So like Elf on the Shelf basically gaslighted America into thinking that this was an actual tradition. They really fake it till you make it and all of it. I really do not like that elf is deceitful. You're not a Christmas tradition. You just came here. You're new. You're not old money. You're nouveau riche elf. Season to be jolly. Ho ho ho. I don't know enough about fonts to know what font that is, and I'm not going to be that guy who gets mad about people using like a silly or cartoony font in their silly and cartoony things. Like, I love the idea of these like kind of tacky 3D animated GIFs, but with exquisite typesetting. So where are the Sanders? Just the source of the Santa in the fireplace here with the three fire dot gifs brewing over it. Here we go. We got the first. We got like. Not the first explicitly Christian one, but the first one that actually has a Jesus in it. Here's the more of the Santa fucking someone in a box. You know, that thing that Santa is well known for doing. I love that he had the pictures of Grumpy Cat, and he makes one of a cat going bah humbug, I hate Christmas, with like the cutest looking, it's this adorable cat. Like, I can't imagine that cat hating anything. Oh, this is great. Here, I'm gonna copy that link so I remember to post that to my Discord later. They'll really get a kick out of that. Very, 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 very Christmas. Oh man, I love this. These. I wonder if he made these or if these are from someone else. Yeah, these 3D bottles of. Seeing the Southern Comfort there, like, I guess it makes sense because, like, you know, liquor comes from all over the world. But I guess since Southern Comfort, I associate that with the American South where I live. It's very funny to see, like, a person from Kent putting that in their animated GIFs. I don't know why I keep saying that as if I know what Kent is or anything. Like, I'm the typical ignorant American. For me, it's just like the UK is just like London and then like the hot fuzz places and the outside. Like, I'm super ignorant of British geography and yeah. But then again, I mean, come on, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Nobody knows where. There are like 1 million people live here. We're one of the biggest cities in America, and nobody knows about us because we are a nothing city. Here we go, another egg on that cake from earlier. Sorry about that. It's just stating, I cannot find 3 men and a virgin in this place. Oh, I get it. And there's a blank sign, so you could like put your town or whatever on there, and he'll be like, "Oh, there's no one here." Yes, another 2D photo realistic cat. Oh, look at it. And like if you look close at its feet, you can see where like he was like manually adjusting the tilt and everything, so you could see it kind of like sliding around. Very good. National Elf Service. I get it. Yeah. Oh no, did you hear? I heard that they're trying to privatize the National Elf Service. It's horrible. Okay, this is like if I saw this as like a T-shirt at Walmart or something, I would roll my eyes. But as a 3D animated GIF by a British man in his 70s, this is like the funniest thing in the world to me. I love this. And there we go. Just oh yeah, that's one of those cute little spherical birds that everyone loves. And lastly. What? No Christmas? I think that's the rare green. It's a shiny COVID-19 because it's green. And you can actually get a little bit more detail on that Santa face there. So there you go. That is all of 3D GIF artists' animated GIFs on that he has uploaded. If you are as charmed by these as I am, he has his own website where he contains like a highlight selection of them, but he also links to his Giphy account. And if you go to his Giphy account, he just has so many of them, and he's even organized them according to category. Like, this is something I could do again in the future. Also, like, again, when I talk about not knowing who he is, like, also, this wasn't in the Christmas one, but this should have been. See, it's Christmas is for everyone, and it's Santa. See, I like that he put the trans flag and the asexual flag in there, which that's again, for a person in their 70s, that's very forward. Like, I still have people that won't acknowledge that. I know, like, people in the queer community that are, like, jerks about asexual people. So that's great. Good for him. You know what? I'm glad that I saw this before I ended so I can feel confident knowing that, like, at the very least, this guy is mercenary. He's just, making whatever exist. He likes to make people smile. And I get that because I like to make people smile. And I hope I got a couple smiles out of this. If not, what are you still doing here? I've been doing this for like a half hour at this point. You could have left at any point, but chose not to. But yeah, I'll include a link to his stuff. Follow him on Twitter. I mean, like I said, like this guy. I mean, he seems to be kind of enjoying like a little bit of like a late in life resurgence. It's like I think some of his GIFs made it into Hypnospace Outlaw. Like people who are into 90s nostalgia are learning about him and kind of appreciate him, especially compared to like the ones that came out of America were usually made by this outfit where they did it commercially. Their thing was that they would make them for clients and then they would they just literally were paid. That was their job, is they would sit around and just churn out 3D animated GIFs all day for people. And like sometimes like people would commission them, but other times they would just be like, okay, well, it's the holidays, let's make this. Here we have a model of Uncle Sam, so let's make one of him like pushing a screw into someone's butt and have it labeled like taxes or something, which it's a real thing. But I'm rambling. It's Christmas. I have a lot of, I got fun stuff to be doing, but thanks again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful little bit of entertainment. And again, just happy holidays. Be thankful for what you have, and hopefully I'll be around for next Christmas. Talk to you then. Bye.